Welcome back, everybody. This is Autofocus one more time.
One more.
I'm Dan Kraft. That's Brooke Galligan.
Hello.
And today, we don't have fancy props or guests. This is pretty simply talking about something new we're offering here at podcastvideos.com.
Yes. Yeah, we're trying to talk about our new offering called Edit Only. So we know that when you're making your own, if you want to be a content creator or a podcaster or whatever you want to do, telling your story and recording everything, that's the fun part. And then you have to go and you have to take that, everything that you recorded, and you have to turn it into the masterpiece that you have all together in your brain. And sometimes that can be kind of hard.
It's so easy in your brain. You can see it. And then the execution can be tough.
Not fun.
It can be worse than tough.
It's not fun. Sometimes, it's time consuming. It can be tedious. And especially if podcasting or if, content creating isn't your full-time job and it's your side hustle, finding the time. If
it's not your background too. There are simpler products out there that can do limited things. There are more advanced, somewhat expensive products, but this is a skill set that does take some time to develop. If you don't have it in your background, audio editing or video editing or both is something that a lot of people really would just rather farm out in terms of skill and time to a professional.
Yeah, you think, I don't have any money. I gotta do it myself. But it's always, that's kind of the thing that people run into, is that they don't have the time to edit, and that's usually, and they'll get like 2 or 3 podcasts out, and then it'll slowly die because the consistency of keeping a podcast up or keeping any kind of content creation up is actually very time consuming.
And that's before you get into the whole, you have to spend the time promoting it afterwards too, but we'll get there with a different episode.
But yeah, this is just the creation of the assets. And so we know that is a pretty time consuming and can be a barrier. And so we've worked, with the team on just kind of like, how can we be that help? How can we be like an affordable, part of your team to help you with your editing,
because
and so
who has access to experienced, available editors who are doing this full time? We do. Yes, this is part of the business, part of what we do. You don't just come into the studio, you edit. You come here, you record with us, then we take all of these 3 different angles, we edit it together with the audio, and then voila, you see the podcast that you're seeing today. And then we figured out that one of those steps isn't exactly necessary. The come to the studio part.
Exactly. You don't need to come to the studio.
If you've recorded it in your grandmother's basement or the field out back, if you can get the raw files to us, we have the editors.
Yep.
You don't have to be recording in our studio. You don't have to be linked in remotely through something like Riverside. If you've got something you need edited, you can get it to us. We'll get it to our team of editors, and we can send you back the edited stuff without the studio side.
Yeah. You don't even need to come into the studio. So it makes it so much easier for people. And then like the main part is that we always try to do, and that's part of our business model. And the whole part of our business model is to basically make things as affordable as possible so the market will can bear it. So, if you're just starting out, please, we can help you out. So it's like it's more important, to be consistent with your content creation than it is to than to wait on your editing. So consistency is such a main part of becoming successful. And so it's if the editing is the thing that's keeping you from being consistent, we got
the people, we got the process, we can handle that for you.
Yep. And so there's a couple things when we are editing that there are some rules.
These are rules, completely not guidelines. Custom movie making.
No, we do not do movie making.
We know people who do. If that's where you're at, we can steer you in the right direction. And sometimes some of those people we know will steer folks toward us because they're looking for something simpler, more scalable than what they do and what they charge for.
Yeah, there's movie making. We're not making a full length film for people. We're not doing, but we will do short form, and then even long form up to an hour. So, if it doesn't have a lot of editing and cuts and storyboards, then we can probably do it. So, We do like to do short form, we can do long form, and we can really, and if you do need help editing, like your feature length film with some CGI, we can point you in the right direction, but we're definitely not doing that.
Talk to us.
But one of the things that we can't do and that we've run into is when people film on their phones. Their phone setting is automatically to have HDR on, and that's like basically high definition. It's like it's a metering tool, and it's very complicated how it does it, but it changes the exposure and makes it, a lot more even and exposed like very evenly across the board. When you film in HDR, it's actually very hard to open that file in an editing software. And so if you're going to film on your phone and you're running into like editing problems, please make sure that you turn the HDR off on your phone, and then you're actually re-recording MP4s. So,
or if you want, there's probably going to be a point where we'll sell you an upgraded camera too. But again, that's another episode.
Yeah. So, but there's a lot of stuff that we can do, but yeah. Not HDR footage, but we can do like MP4s, MOVs, things like that, and we can really take what you have, and even with the B-roll we can put stuff on, like if you have with detailed show notes, and we can give you a template for that too. But with detailed show notes, we can actually like basically turn your assets into something amazing,
polished and delivery ready.
Yep. Okay. Yep, and you can even take something long form and turn it into short form, so you have social clips too.
And the obviously, this is something we're pushing because we think we can, make $1 on it, but it broadens our audience to more than just folks who have to physically come into the studio.
Yeah, and we always focus our products on something like where there's a need. And so we've seen this need time and time again, in the market. And so what we want to do is try to make it, is try to fill that need and try to help you guys and try to help people become content creators, because that's really, if that's what you want, we want you to achieve your dreams, man. So let us help you.
And trust me, talking to us is easier than trying to learn this editing software. I've tried. I've failed. I've tried again, like a decade later, failed. Probably even worse.
Really? Okay.
And some of the simple stuff is, the free or the cheap products. They're limited, but they're a lot easier to learn than a full-on Adobe Premiere or a heavy DaVinci. There are options out there if you've got the time, if you've got the skill or the willingness to learn, then maybe you can do it yourself. But if not, we can help.
Yeah. I mean, there's the free editing software out there. DaVinci is great. CapCut, and then limited. There's other limited ones like Opus and things like that have like editing features. And then there's iMovie, but yeah, it's iMovie.
And that's all she has to say about that.
Yeah.
We're probably worth mentioning if you are on the audio only side of podcasting or the audio side of anything audio-visual. We have the capability to run audio only.
For sure.
Editing as well. You don't have to have a video for us to play with.
Nope. Just send us the audio you have. We are not miracle workers, so we'll always give you, like, when you send everything to us, we're going to review everything and let you know, like, hey, like this if there's anything that we know might not come out as like top, is like as high of professional quality as we wanted, we'll let you know. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, we're not miracle workers, but there's a lot of things we can do to fix a lot of stuff. Like I did a video.
Up in the quality of the input really helps the output.
Yeah, we did one where we went and took the audio. We separated the audio from the video and took the audio track, and there was a bird chirping the whole time, and you can actually like just take out that frequency. And so we just took out the bird chirping. We didn't take the bird out for real. No birds were harmed.
You didn't Randy Johnson this bird?
No, the bird is fine and probably alive to this day, but you can go into the audio and take stuff out.
Not as far as that client's audio track said. The bird was gone.
It was cut. We cut the bird. Just audio and not in real life. But yeah. So there's a lot of things we can do. But there's but again, we're not miracle workers.
Well, and frankly, we opened this studio and they promptly started construction on the street outside, and then they started tearing parts of the building apart. Now, obviously, part of that is we've got good high quality mics. We've got some pretty good insulation and sound deadening in here, but you can fix some of this. Mm-hmm. You can't go stand next to the bulldozer that's working and probably get away with cinematic quality sound.
Yeah, it's okay.
So anyway, so that is our edit-only product. It is basically the same thing we offer right here in the studio without the studio.
Yeah.
So podcastvideos.com is where you need to go to check out any additional information on that. And any of us would be willing to talk more about it. So until then, this has been Autofocus one more time. I'm Dan Kraft. That's
Brooke Galligan.
And we're out of here.
See ya.